Having been in this business now for 48 years, I love the job. I love the opportunities and I love the challenges that it presents. And in corrections, it's never the same. Every single solitary day that I walk in that building, I am confronted with something new, something different, some new challenge from somebody that keeps my mind functioning on a very high level every day. I started my law enforcement career on November the 4th, 1961 at Metro-Dade Department of Public Safety in Miami, Florida, and was there from 1961 through 1972 when my family and I moved to Fort Collins, Colorado, and I became employed by the Larimer County Sheriff's Office. I stayed there for the better part of 28 years, the last 8 years as the elected county sheriff there. Predominantly, when you talk about the Hamilton County Jail, we house those individuals who have committed the most grievous offenses against society. We have our murderers, aggravated robbers, aggravated rapists. We keep most of those in this facility. Then we have those who are brought back to this facility from federal facilities or state facilities for retrials. We have pretrials, but most of our pretrials go out to the Silverdale facility that's run by CCA, and we don't keep those folks. So I guess you could say we have in our facility the worst that our society has to present to us. Hamilton County has a relatively old jail, built back in the late 1970s, and it's a linear facility, which means that it's a facility that is built without supervision being imparted by the employees directly. They sit in a control booth removed from where the inmates are housed and must leave that control booth in order to have any kind of visual contact with the inmates. We currently have approximately 500 to 510 inmates in the facility. It's a 6-floor structure, and each one of the floors is classified differently. On the 2nd floor, we have our minimum security folks, and on the 6th floor, we have our maximum security folks. We try to limit the number of people that are in any one of those cells in order to maintain a safe environment for the inmates. We work very hard at keeping it through classification, through programs, through interaction between officers and inmates to keep an environment that is not hostile for everybody that's there. Corrections, unlike patrol, the police operations that the general public has an opportunity to see on a day-to-day basis, is a far less discretionary environment because of the confined situation, the number of inmates that we have. Right now, I have 91 available officers to work in the jail 24 hours, 7 days a week, and have numerous positions that they have to fill. They don't have an opportunity to have a whole lot of interaction with inmates because they're involved in visitation, they're involved in head counts, they're involved in pulling inmates for recreation, for court, for visitation, for attorney visits, that whole process. So their day is very filled up with that. And then we average about 50 to 60 inmates a day that are booked into this facility. So that is a rapidly changing, rapidly moving environment in and of itself. As in any operation, I don't care whether you're running a Volkswagen line or you're running this facility of the jail at Hamilton County, you're dealing with a diverse population as it relates to minorities, as it relates to ethnicity, as it relates to religious belief, as it relates to the entire gamut of what society faces, we have inside the facility. So what you have to do is have an understanding that there is that difference and that no single person, no single process has the same answer at all times. When it comes to my personnel, my first and foremost responsibility is to keep them safe. And so I try to, every day that I walk in that building, to create an environment that they want to come to work in and that the inmates will treat them with the respect and the dignity that they require. ACA accreditation means to us that we have a national set of standards. If we meet those standards, live by those standards, and remain by those standards, from my own experiences, I know it will reduce inmate problems or inmate conflicts because we will be performing the corrections job in an appropriate manner and be guided by the standards which ACA has laid out.